Hello guys and girls, I hope it's going well with you. I'm splendid because it's my favorite time of the week. It's time for UJtv. I'm Sisca Julius and I'll be your host for today. Now today we are going to be visiting UJfm. We're going to have some Chef Thobeka bacon pizza, and we're also going to have a special guest in studio. But first, Brandon is over there at APB with the UJfm guys. Let's see what's happening with Brandon.
Hey guys, it's Brendan here. I'm coming to you live from UJfm studios down at the Bunting Road campus. I just came off air on UJfm, live with DJ Nick Explicit. I'm going to be interviewing him in just a few minutes right here down at their studios. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Brandon. We're going to check in with him a little later, but first let's check on Chef Thobeka in the kitchen with that bacon pizza.
Hello guys and welcome, and today we are going to be making pizza. It's a very quick and fun dish to make, and I've already prepped my dough here, so I'm going to go through our ingredients quickly. I have my tomato paste that we're going to put on the base of the pizza, as well as my sliced bacon that I've just nicely pan fried a little bit. And then I have my mushrooms in here that I've sliced up really nicely and thinly so that it doesn't take really long to cook in the oven. And then I have my red peppers that I've nicely sliced as well. Remember, don't slice it too thickly or it won't cook nicely in the oven. And then I have my grated cheese, as well as my olive oil that I'm just gonna drizzle on top as well.
I can't wait for that pizza, but as promised, our guest is in studio with us, and she doesn't even know that I was stalking her this morning. I saw her boots and I loved it. Welcome to UJtv. Now, you are the assistant of The Crucible.
That's correct.
Please tell us more about why you chose to do The Crucible again, because I know you did it back in 2011.
That's correct. LB Michaels, who's the director, he actually did The Crucible at the Roodepoort Theatre 4 years ago. We've brought it back this year. Not only is it an English set work amongst matric students in the country, so we thought that would be a good way to get audience members in. But also, if you look at the current news situation and what's happening, we just look at the statues at the moment in South Africa. I mean, witch hunts are all over the place. On a daily basis, people are ostracized for their beliefs, for their religion, for their cultures. So the themes in the Crucible, we feel are quite prevalent still today.
So you really believe that it's still relevant today? Why do you think is it still relevant? What makes this play so classic that it's still relevant in today's day and age?
Okay, well, firstly, the playwright Arthur Miller wrote this play in the 1950s, and it was during, in America, what was happening at that time was McCarthy, who was a political activist. He sort of wanted communism to come into America. So Arthur Miller then went and the biggest witch hunt that ever sort of happened in world history was in Salem, the witch trials in 1692. And women were ostracized for being women, basically. In this town, people wanted to gain political power, they wanted to gain land. So for greed and for other purposes, they started pinpointing individuals and who believed that they were possessed by demons in order to gain certain things. So he took that story, which is based on history and facts, and then wrote this play about it. Today, your question was, is it still relevant? And I do believe it is. I mean, if you go into any school now, if you go into a varsity, anywhere you go, sort of people are ostracized for what they believe in, for what they do. And in order for us to gain certain things, it's very quick and easy to point the finger to other people that we're unaware of, things that we're not familiar with and that we don't know. Yeah, does that answer your question?
It really does.
Okay, cool.
But how do you think we will overcome this? Because witch trials are still happening today. In today, it's just modernified. But how do you think we will overcome this?
Oh, goodness, very good question. Look, I think just a lot of awareness, bringing those issues to front, getting people to talk about them. So staging a play like this is hopefully getting people talking. We've been previewing now for the last 3 nights and just chatting to various audience members about their opinions and what they're thinking. They can immediately relate the themes of The Crucible to what's happening currently. We have an ensemble cast made up of our students, and the whole mob mentality, which was another big theme in The Crucible, social hysteria, people talking about things and not really doing anything about it. So hopefully that can maybe point a finger or two to us, because I think we do that. It's very quick and easy to kind of sit in our living rooms and point fingers at people or at things that are happening, but what are we actually doing about it? So hopefully by doing this, we're going to get people talking.
Now, we were able to be at one of the previews last night, so let's check out this insight about what happened.
Ebenezer Bokwan. I'm a second year student at UJ. It's been lovely. I'm part of the arts company, and this year we're doing The Crucible by Arthur Miller, directed by Albie Michaels. I'm playing Shiva, who is a conflicted character. He's confused between what he thought he knew and what he feels, what's right and what's wrong.
The Crucible, the play, is about the Salem witch trials, which happened in 1655, thereabouts. And it really, really happened. It's based on the truth. A lot of people in the play really existed. My part in the play of The Crucible, I played two characters actually, Reverend Paris and Reverend Hale. One character I play with a mask. And the reason we put on a mask is to not confuse the audience as to what character you play when. The collaboration between students and professionals is quite an interesting process, especially for us as the professionals. It kind of reminds you, where you started, and it's very humbling because they come from such a pure place.
My experience in working with the students have been an interesting one, and they have been unbelievably devoted and unbelievably, I think, more devoted than I've been in the beginning, and it's so great to see how they got together and see that it's an ensemble, because it shouldn't be a separation. It's a team effort.
I think UJ students should come check out the play, because then they'll be able to see what's happening in their own university, first of all. Second of all, they'll be able to understand the value and what exactly is happening. It's not a school play. It's hectic, the set. This is how much is invested into it, all into us, our costumes, detailed. You know what I'm saying? It's lovely.
I'm already curious. I can't wait to see it. Now, I noticed, Kerry, that you used both all-stars as well as students. Why?
Alrighty, well, it is quite a big cast. Originally, Arthur Miller, it's a cast of 40. When Albie originally directed it, obviously with limited budgets that most theatres have, to go and cast a big cast of 40 people would have been quite an expensive task. So we started looking at the duality of different characters. There's very obvious goodies and baddies in the script. So the way that he's deciphered those is by using masks. Sorry, I know I'm not really answering your question now. I'm going to get to that. So we have actors playing various roles using masks, so they're playing the goodie and the baddie. We've brought in professional cast members because of the techniques of acting with the mask. Number one is quite intricate. It's a very different acting style. And our hope in bringing the professionals in was that so that students could obviously learn from these professionals. We've got amazing professionals on our cast. They're all involved with Binnelanders and Met Rugby. And just from what I've heard from the students, they've really just been able to sit back and observe and learn the great art and the what is the word I'm looking for? Just how hard it is to actually be an actor, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be famous, everybody wants to be a star, but it takes focus and dedication and hard work. So the idea behind bringing the ensemble together with the professional actors was to hopefully the students could gain something from it and learn
lovely.
from it.
So it's both educational and they still get to do exactly what they love to do.
This is it, absolutely.
And I noticed that everything has water. Why? Why is the set flooded?
Well, firstly, it looks fabulous, doesn't it?
It
Something
really
quite
does.
different. You don't really expect to see something like that. But if one looks at the definition of a crucible, in the scientific form, a crucible is a pot where you put different ingredients, scientific ingredients, in to test the fluidity of it. Okay, so it's a testing pot. So that ultimately is what we're doing here. We're testing all the different emotions, we're testing all the different people's opinions in this crucible, in this mixing pot. If you think about the symbolism of water, water is life, water is circulation, it's birth, it's death, it's purification. And the characters in this play have to make decisions. Are they going to keep their integrity and their reputation? Or are they going to admit certain things and go through a sort of cathartic process, a baptism of sorts, a cleansing process to become new people and be respected in the society. So we've played with those themes, but also again quite literally taken the definition of a crucible and put it on the stage. As far as the acting technique, what it's actually done for the actors is it's created quite an economy of movement. Obviously when you're on stage, and now being on stage in water, you're incredibly aware of the movements that you're making, the space between you and your other actors, if you're pacing or not pacing. So as far for the actors are concerned, it's created quite a discipline and quite an awareness for themselves on that stage. As you can see, it's quite a different character. It's a separate character on its own. It's got its own life. It's got its own meaning. The actors can't control how much water splashes out, if it hits an audience member, if a costume gets wet. So every night it's adapting, it's changing, and that's what water does. It constantly changes. In Greece, if you go back to it, they celebrated water for the fact that it could be a solid thing, it could be a flowy thing, or vapor. So in that process, or looking at them for that, just the different motions that water can have. And hopefully that brings something to this.
But now, what is the most important message you hope that the viewers will get from this play?
Oh goodness, that's a very lovely question. Again, because it was written quite a while ago, but I feel it is still very relevant. You know, we've taken a very classic text, and L.B. Michaels has brought in very new conventions. So we're hoping it's going to keep it quite fresh for a younger audience and for a more conservative audience coming to see something that's quite different. So we're hoping to bring back the love of theatre, a passion for theatre, coming in, seeing how a classic text written 50 years ago could be transformed and hopefully intrigue a modern audience.
Where can I find a ticket? Because I certainly want one.
Absolutely. So if you go to the Arts and Culture Centre, you'll go to the reception office, student tickets, anybody with a student card, not only a UJ student card, it's 10 Rand to get in. And then we're also online at CompuTicket, so you can book there.
Let me quickly go online, guys. While I do that, go check on Chef Thobeka's pizza.
Awesome.
Okay guys, we're gonna top our pizza now. Start off with our tomato puree and just put it on top like that. And guys, remember, you can put absolutely anything on pizza. I just chose these ones because these are my favorite toppings to put on. You can put pineapple, some people put chicken strips, beef, whatever. And then we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil on top of it, as well as our bacon. I just lightly fried this, not too much, don't over fry it. I'm gonna put it on half so that we have a variety of stuff on our pizza. And then our mushrooms as well. You can use any type of mushrooms that you like. Any mushrooms work on any pizza. And guys, the fun thing about pizza is that you don't actually have to be perfect at it. It doesn't have to be the perfect shape. You can do whatever you want with it. And then a little bit of our red pepper. And then we're gonna top it off with mozzarella cheese. That's the best type of cheese that you can use for pizza because it melts beautifully. Just gonna put it. You can put a lot, you don't have to put a little. There's never enough cheese on a pizza. Okay, so now our girl Sisca, one of our presenters, she's busy with her short stories. She has a website and everything. So we're gonna link to her little insert and let's see what it is. Sisca's Stories.
Hallo julle, ek is Sisca en kom ek vertel jou 'n storie. Nou die storie het ek geskryf vir geen rede nie. Die storie het in my kop gekom en toe skryf ek hom. Hy het ook die Kanseliers Trustprys vir prosa gewen en die titel is Dirty Girls Hair Salon en so gaan hy. Nog nooit vat ek 'n mooi man in my skat. 'n Mooi man is almal se man. En pas op laat hy nog wit skoene dra ook. Die manne met wit skoene, hulle is jollers. Dirty Girl is my favorite hairdresser. A hairdresser is a magician, a technician of the complexities of a girl's best. acid. Sy het die haarsalon Gertie Girls genoem. Maar Gertie Girl was nie altyd Gertie Girl nie. Oeh, jare girlfriend. Was ek by jou by 'n jalwe party gister en toe drop ek het. Nou ek maak seker dat ek elke Saterdagoggend 'n afspraak het by Gertie. Of dit nou is vir 'n relax, 'n perm of 'n was en blou. By Gertie Saterdagoggend is ek. Want elke Vrydag aand was sy weer by 'n jalwe party. En dan word my dak weer sit uitgebrand. Nou volgens my ouma, brand iemand jou dak as hy jou vrot belieg. Hoe, jare girlfriend, was ek vir jou by 'n jalwe party gisteraand? Toe lyk ek mos weer die nuwe mooi. Watch out Beyoncé. Ek het vir my soft girls gemaak, gold earrings. Jy ken mos hoe smaak ons. En waar bly my red lipstick nou agter? Ek is dan Marilyn Monroe. Ek het my pantyhose aangesit. Nee, as die China shop pantyhose is by Foschini gekoop. Lala kom laai my agter op. Ek stappie. My vriende het voertuig. Ek hang voetjies. Uit te luid. Ons maak weer elke tavern toe. En die glas wyn wat gedrink word is mos nie vir manne met dun kopjelle nie, girl. Hoe loop ons nie vas toe ons by Glens kom nie? Ek stap nog so in toe sê Lala vir my vriend, jou eyelash. Toe kruip ek vir jou op die vloer en soek my eyelash. Ek lyk mos daarom net te fresh om net een in te hê, maar girl, op die warm spoor word ons geambush. Want sien jy, ek het laas vir Glenn se vrou gesê, sy moet ophou so die extensions dra. Sy lyk nog steeds soos 'n hotnot. 'n Hotnot met 'n goue sterretjie op die voorkop. Girl, ken jy wat is hol vir jou lyf? Toe skop ek my stilettos uit. Daarom het ek nogmaals tot standaard 6 atletiek gedoen, want toes wat ek by die huis kom, toe is my pantyhose nie weer pantyhose, girl. Toe hulle tights. Nou, ek maak seker, dit is my weeklikse bron van vermaak. En almal in die haarsalon huil soos hulle lag, so tussen deur die relaxer dampe en die Brenda Fassie en die Judy Boucher, vir Gertie se verhale. Maar, Gertie Girl was nie altyd Gertie Girl nie. Hy was eens op 'n tyd Gertjie boy, Gerd Willem Abrams, na sy dadda vernoem, stryter as die pad na die nightclub in Beersig. En was hy nou vir jou 'n player? Die pensies het agter Gertjie aangehol, en hom gekleef soos nat lollipops. Hulle het gesê Gert knows how to handle the chickas. Totdat Gertjie vir Abigail Andrews gemeet het. Abigail met die lang koelie hare en die groen oë. Sy's 'n oulike dolsheim, baie bonankies. Die flop is net sy het dit geweet. Die roemers loop reeds uit op haar kop hare agtergekom. Gert het vir dae, weke, maande lank vir Abigail gechase. Finally het hy gesucceed en dit het gelyk of hy sy fairytale kry. Hy het 'n ring gekoop als. Maar die lewe het mos maar altyd 'n wending. Abigail se oë was te groen om nie te dwaal nie. Glo die binnekant van elke man se kar goed geken. Met sulke bloedrooi lippe wat al wat broek dra se dius. O, sawe Gertjie. Seker maar die mans genoeg vir Abby nie. Hy het net een Vrydag aand na werk by die huis gekom, toe is daar nie 'n Abby nie. Nie eers die hond gelos, die sleg meid. Kan maar net 'n briefie op die fridge, kan nie meer die liefde, Abby. Turns out, 'n mooi vrou is ook almal se vrou. Van daai dag af is Gertjie boy Gertie girl en speel hy die circus clown. Dat ons nie moet sy trane sien nie. Hoe, jare girlfriend, was ek vir jou by 'n jalwe party gisteraand. Toe hy die bietjie aangaan, lyk hulle taal nooit 'n moffie gesien nie. Oeh! Toe drop ek het. Dit was Gertie Girls hier salon. As jy my wil challenge en die tema gee vir my volgende storie, kan jy dit vir my stuur op Facebook, Sisca se stories, of op Twitter, @Sisca se stories. Tot dan, ciao.
We're just going to let it cook for another 10 minutes. But because you know that Chef Thobeka is gangster like that, I made one earlier on and we're going to try it out. And this is it. It looks great. I decided to do a different shape this time. Let me just take it off and put it here so you can see it nicely. And that's how you make a homemade pizza. Don't forget to join me next time, guys, in the kitchen, and don't forget to get the recipe as well as the pictures on the UJTV's Facebook page. Until then, bye.
Yummy. I can't wait for some of that bacon pizza. But Brandon is still over at UJfm. He's doing an interview with DJ Nick Explicit. Let's hear what they have to talk about.
Hey guys, we're back down here at the UJfm studios on the Bunting Road campus, where DJ Nick Explicit just interviewed me live on UJfm. Now it's my turn to interview him. Nick, thanks for having us today.
Thanks a lot, my dude. This is a first, though. I interview you, you interview me.
Yes, it's also unusual for us.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Thanks. My name's Nick Explicit. I host the Explicit Drive, which is 3 to 6, Monday to Fridays on UJfm 95.4. We've been doing this for a good 18 months, 4-time MTN Radio nominee. Tomorrow's the awards. Hopefully we'll scoop something. Who knows, man? You never know with these things.
Yeah. All right, Nick, so we're going to get right into it. Can you tell us, how did you start here at UJfm? How did it to be a DJ here?
It was a passion, though, first of all. Just decided, hey, man, I think radio's where I deserve to be. The TV thing didn't really work out. People were like, you know, you got the whole radio thing going. So I was like, yeah, radio's definitely me. Submitted a demo, went to one of their auditions, which was during the open days. And next thing you know, I got the call and it just happened like that. Yep. And if you want to do what I do, it's pretty easy because in May we're going to be having the road show. So chances are you could come and audition, meet me, and give you a couple of pointers, and for all you know, you could end up on the Explicit Drive as well.
Cool. Okay, Nick, so you're the host of the Explicit Drive. That's come quite a long way. Can you tell us where it's come from and how it's going?
Well, geez, dude, I was originally supposed to start doing overnights, and then the opportunity for Drive kind of came up, and they threw me in sort of like the deep end. On the 1st of July, it was almost a year or two ago. And we've kind of been growing it and picking it up from there. I mean, the listener figures are pretty awesome. We're doing better than Breakfast, by the way. And in case you've ever listened to Breakfast, you'd know my co-host, AB. He's pretty cool, but not as cool as the Explicit Drive. But listen to him if you need someone to wake you up in the morning. And if you're looking for someone to spend a good afternoon with, 95.4 UJfm is exactly where it's happening.
Okay, Nick, you spoke about the road shows coming up. Can you explain more details about that, where they take place?
Basically, we're going to be hitting all of the campuses. The dates will obviously appear on UJFM's site, which is ujfm.co.za. Check it out there. We'll do one campus a week, and if you want to get into either presenting, news, sports, or production, you'll be asked to do a quick audition. And if you pass the audition, then you'll get a call back and get a bit of training, and then the rest of it, as they say, is history. Okay,
great. We'll be sure to put the word out. Thanks for having us today.
Definitely.
So you guys, there you heard it. If you want to be a UJfm presenter, check out UJfm.co.za. They will have something there for you for sure. Let's go back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Brandon, at UJtv. At UJfm, excuse me. It's always nice to hear from our sister platforms. But guys, now I want to talk about something I can't speak enough about. It's the tuk-tuks. There's a tuk-tuk rant going on. All the students love the tuk-tuks, and I do as well, because it's just so much fun. We filmed something around the tuk-tuk again because it's fun. So let's see what we did this time.
I really believe a lot in bravery of speech to start with. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't expect to have freedom of speech without no bravery behind it. Because we're already given freedom of speech, but how many people can actually have the bravery to say what they have to say at that specific time and place?
I think honestly our country's a mess. Our parliaments, our governments, our political parties are a huge mess. But I think people are happy with the way it is, so it's not going to change anytime soon. As long as the majority is happy, nothing's going to change, and that's democracy for you.
Anyway, there's nothing to bitch about.
Nice. She's nice. I like her legs.
No, I don't want to bitch. I want to talk about the hot guys.
Oh yes, because you're always taking them out.
Drooling. Do you know that murder case about the boy that killed his family and all that stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what actually happened?
Yeah, he killed his shot his family and raped his sister.
Well, you know, I'm South African, 100% South African, but because I only speak English, I sometimes get treated as though I'm a foreigner, and the experience is not nice at all.
I know some taxi drivers and they're fun people.
Where did you know a taxi driver?
Where? Well,
Yeah.
I met him in Joburg. CBD, I used to live in Hillbrow.
You used to live in Hillbrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Explains a lot. Like, no matter how down or, I don't know, moody you can be, as soon as you get on campus, it's gonna be something that has to just lighten up your day.
That's so funny. I think we should have a reality show called Tuck Talk. It will be all big brotherish. But we've come to the end of today's episode. Please join the conversation on Facebook. We are UJtv. You can also follow us on Twitter at UJ Television. That's all from me, Sisca Julius. I'm out. Sure.